Over to you.
Okay, thanks, man. All right, so before I even get into the art of pitching and pitching and all of that, I'm just gonna go a little bit into. Let me know if you get able to see my screen.
Yeah, we're seeing your screen, but we're seeing the Zoom. Okay, now we're seeing the PowerPoint, but it's not in slideshow.
Right, so let me just put that in slideshow now. Perfect.
All right.
All right. So what we're looking at here is, first presentation I want to really look at is validating your business idea. Your business idea is important before you even look at, how do you pitch your business idea. So one of the first thing that we want to look at, let me close this out. So we want to look at, you want to create an hypothesis. Hello? Oh, that's background noise from someone, I take it.
Shanika, your mic.
So the first thing is talking about or creating an hypothesis. This is the first step in your startup journey, is to develop a big idea and develop a startup hypothesis. Use the big idea canvas to identify your assumptions and create an hypothesis that you can test. The second step number 2, is to test your hypothesis. Before you jump in, take a step back and apply the scientific method on your idea, just as a scientist would. Very important, because oftentimes, because of the emotion of starting the business or running the business, we don't look at it from a scientific or a data standpoint. So the second step does exactly that. Step number 3 is to launch your startup. You have one chance to make a first impression. Do your homework and make it count. And I'm just going to leave it at this for now, right here. Do your homework and make it count. The biggest challenge with presenting your idea to investors, right, or to an audience, is understanding your business, understanding your market, understanding your product. It's quite too often that I see entrepreneurs in their final pitch or their demo day presentation, and questions are being asked about their product that just cannot be answered. Questions are being asked about their market. So who is your market? That they just really cannot answer, because your market is not everyone. Your market is always a subset of a certain population or data. So I want to just make critical note of that before I go into creating your pitch, right? So we're going to look at pitch deck building. Now, pitch deck building is absolutely important, because this is the tool that you're going to use to communicate to investors, to anyone that does not necessarily understand what is it that you will be doing, right? And the technique is the art of pitching. So I want to look at 2 things. You want to look at the tool being used, and then you want to look at the technique. And the technique is the art of pitching. So we're going to look at the tool, and the tool being used here is your PowerPoint presentation, right? So we can shift this around. Now, your pitch deck should capture the imagination of the investor. So that's one. What do we mean by this? It's not necessarily good to have a presentation that is well or too worded. When you have a very worded presentation, what you find that is happening, that the audience will be reading line by line and line by line. Instead, what should be happening, and which is why they call this a presentation, you should be presenting and the audience should be listening to you, not be reading what's on the slides, right? Because you are presenting. And when you are presenting, the center of the presentation is you, right? Having that dialogue, connecting with the audience. And you're doing so through the channel, and the channel is your PowerPoint. So I would encourage entrepreneurs to use as much image as possible to convey the message that you want to convey to your audience, right? And you do so in summaries, not lengthy worded sentences that persons have to read. Because what we find, data has shown that after reading the second line or, or third line of any paragraph or sentences, that they typically lose focus, right? And have to go back to the first line to see exactly what is that you're saying. All that while trying to listen to you, right? So use as much image as possible to convey the message that you want to convey, of course, in summary point. Okay, next thing is defining the problem. What problem are you solving? It's way too often that persons are pitching and we don't understand the core of their business. You don't necessarily have to be solving a problem either, right? It could be an innovative solution to a gap in the market. So you must be either solving a problem or you come up with something that is very innovative, that this is a gap in the market, and this is what you're aiming at conveying to your audience. So it must be lucidly clear what your business is about. And when you state this here, you say exactly, what your business is about. So you're either solving a problem, or you're coming with a solution that is not in the market, or you're coming up with providing a service, or you're providing a product that is, that is needed by a market segment. So it's important that you kind of define what you're doing here. The next slide that you need to present or to showcase in your presentation is your marketing strategy. What is your marketing strategy? You need to understand the marketing strategy by understanding the market that you're serving, right? And when you do that, then you can think about how the way that you're going to convey the message to the market that you're trying to reach. And the marketing strategy is important because you need to understand the demographic of your audience or of the market, right? The geographic location, the socioeconomic background, because if you're targeting a particular market that you're selling an expensive product to, and this socioeconomic situation of these persons within that market segment cannot afford the product or service that you're offering, then you'll find that your sales number will be low, and they will remain low because the persons that you're targeting does not have the whereabouts to purchase the products or services. So you have to understand the market that you're trying to reach, and in doing so, then you can know what tools, what techniques you need to employ to reach those market segments, right? And that entails a number of things, as I said, the demographic, geographic location, socioeconomic background, and a myriad of things, right? Is it predominantly female? Is it predominantly male? Are these early adopters? Or these late adopters? Many things that can be considered. Well, you need to do that in order to understand the marketing strategy that you're about to or willing to employ to reach your targeted audience. Okay, the next slide I think is absolutely important, just like all the slides, but your value proposition. What is your value proposition? We have to understand these terms. What do we mean by your value proposition? Anyone here want to give it a try to explain to me what you think your value proposition is? I think, there's 2 entrepreneurs on the call right now. So if I'm throwing this question out, what would you say your value proposition is?
Value proposition. What I think it is like a summary of what consumers would want, or why would they choose their product or something like that.
Okay, I think we're ending good. Say why would they choose their product? That's not far from it. And well, thanks Leonardo for that. Anyone else want to give it a go?
I think the value proposition deals with clearly defining your customer and what your customer is, your product is about, essentially.
Okay, so again, excellent attempt there again, Baxter, Alex. So your value proposition, right? Your value proposition is what is your unique offering? What's going to differentiate you from everybody else that is in the market, right? So I am, let's say for instance, I am a barber, right? But typically you go into a barber shop, you sit down, they cut your hair, they put the, you know, the thing around you, you brush up and all this when you finish. But what is it? What if I, as a barber, right, I decide to differentiate myself? So when you come into my barber shop, first thing I'm going to offer you is a cool drink of lemonade that nobody else is offering, right? I'm going to ensure that you have either a warm towel or a ice cold towel. The choice is yours, right? But you get these things when you walk into my barber shop that you don't necessarily get in other barbershops. So in a sense, this is what separates you from the market. This is what I would call your differential factor, right? Because in order for you to stand out, you need to clearly indicate how are you going to differentiate yourself from the rest of the competition, right? What is going to make you stand out? And why do I need to buy your product? Because it's either the product is out there, dime a dozen, everybody sells honey. Why do I need to buy your honey? You understand what I mean? What would be your differentiating factor? Very important, okay? And thank you so much for those responses, guys. Okay, business models. This business model, what is your business model? Quite often, I think these are terms that are not necessarily understood, right? And I'm going to explain it. When I say, what is your business model? So if an investor comes up to you and say, okay, I hear you, but tell me, what is your business model, right? You're going to say, okay, your business model is your cost, your distribution, your product. No. Your business model is all of that, en masse, right? So your business model is what is the service or product that you're selling that is making you money. So when you hear the term business model, the only thing that should come to your mind is what is it that is making you money? What are you selling? In other words, right? Let's go back to the barbershop situation. If I am a barber, my business model is cutting hairs, right? So, because that's what providing the bulk of my money. So anything that you're doing that is providing the bulk of your money is your business model. I could offer other services. For instance, in my barbershop, I could be selling comb, I could be selling shears, and those are also bringing in revenues. But that's not my business model. My core business model is cutting hair, right? So this is what, if an investor, anyone asks you, what is your business model? Your business model is what is making money for you. What is the core product that you're selling, or what is it the core services that you're providing? And that is your business model. Oftentimes, I think we segue into multiple revenue streams, and then we forget our core business, right? So it's important that we stick to our core business because this is what the enterprise is found upon, right? This is what the enterprise was established on, right? Your core business. This is what I decided to do to make money. Despite the small revenue streams or having multiple or other revenue streams, you need to look at our focus on your main or core business that is bringing in the bulk of the money. And this is where, in a presentation, that you need to demonstrate what your business model is, because you don't want an investor or your audience to be asking, so I don't understand. I see where you're selling this, you're selling that, but I don't understand your business model, right? My business model is cutting hair, and this is where I make the bulk of my money. My primary market segment, there are males between the age group of 18 and 36. They're mostly in middle to upper class. It was kind of defined. I get like 10% females who come in to do eyebrows or share here and there, but That's a small percentage of my business. My core business model is cutting here, especially males. And you can target a segment, or you can tailor your marketing strategy to attracting more businesses, right? Next up, we want to look at your traction and validation. Oftentimes we think that because, I'm still very early in my business, I haven't commercialized, or I just barely starting to work on my prototype, that I have no traction. No. Traction is about moving, right? So traction and validation is about moving, it's about achieving. And it doesn't matter how small or large, the accomplishment, it is still considered to be an sorry about that, guys. So the traction or validation is about, how much things that you have achieved over a period. So let's say I started out by having an idea, and then I place that idea on a paper, right? And I start documenting my idea. My traction and validation right there is that I have documented my idea, right? Oftentimes persons have quite a few, they have brilliant ideas, but nobody really document their idea. That's your traction. That's your validation, right? Next thing, after documenting my idea, I started pitching my idea to my aunt, to my nephews, to my mother, and they've given me feedback. So I've done two things there. I've documented my idea, and I've been validating my idea by speaking to my close relative. That's validation. So it doesn't matter how small the milestone that you have achieved, or doesn't matter how small the activity is, their traction and validation. So don't believe that because you're not commercialized, you don't have an established business, you haven't sold any product, that you don't necessarily have any traction or any validation. You do, because these are the small milestones that you need to take to get to the next level. In order for Facebook to be where it is today, they had to start very small. Those are traction and validation. So to think about that when you discuss or think about when you're going to document, what is it that you have achieved to date to get you to where you want to be? Very important. Your financials and projections. Here again, if for instance you have a business that you think you have no data for, right? There's so much data in the market. You can look at a similar product, you can look at a similar service and say, okay, what are these services going for? What are these products being sold for? How can I model my projections? How can I look at my expenses versus my hypothetical or projected revenue? Those are things that you need to look at, right? So you might think that, okay, how am I going to develop financials or have financials or have projections when I have not been selling anything? There are similar products in the market that you can do, comparative analysis. You can use those numbers to model, because when you're, and that's what it is, modeling. Even when you're developing a house or a scheme or a housing complex or a commercial complex, what they do, they model these developments before it's actually developed. They look at current numbers, what's in the market, what's inflation rates, what are the current the going price of things, and you have all of those documented, and you use a summary of those to really put forward your financial projections. Now, for an investment, if you're seeking investment or if you're seeking some amount of financing, it is important for you to indicate or show a 3-year projection, right? What will be your expenses in your first year versus your second year versus your third year? At what point will you break even, right? I think there again, we tend to fall in a pit hole where we think that we're going to make crazy money in the first year or second year, and we're going to break even by the 8th month in the second year. No, guys, you have to be as realistic as possible, because investors don't want to see that you're going to make $1 million within the first year. But when I see that, I just ignore it completely because I know that's not possible. The business road is a difficult road, and for you to making that not just breaking even, but making profit within the first year is ridiculous unless you might hit the jackpot. What do I mean by you hitting the jackpot? You have a business or a service in a time that the socioeconomic situation of the country or region kind of help to propel your business. Let's look at one such situation. Let's say Edifocal. At the time of Edifocal coming out, there was COVID. There was no schools. Schools were shutting down. Children were not learning. All kind of thing. There was no access to the education, no access to their notes, no access to anything. Just in time for Edifocal to be established. Edifocal provide all those services. So in other words, they hit the jackpot because what? It really helped this current socioeconomic situation. And these things have to be considered as well, right? One more thing I'm going to encourage that you share within your financials and your projections is what is your ask? How much money are you asking for? If you're starting a business, you must need some money, right? But you must be able to justify the amount of money that is being asked or requested. Or, so, okay, so all right, very early in my business, I want to develop a prototype. At this point in time, I am requesting $1.5 million. Why do I want $1.5 million? I need to invest $800,000 into the prototype development. I need to invest another $20,000 into some marketing. I need like another $100,000 to $200,000 in invest in logistics, transportation, and so forth and so on. So you must be able to justify the amount of money being requested. And we must see that at some point in time in the presentation. You want to show what your current expenditures and income is, perfectly fine. But we also need to see what is your ask. Because at the end of the day, what's the purpose of your presentation? Just to tell us about your business? No. We need to know if you need help, unless you don't need any help, you're not requesting any money, then you don't have to show it. But if you think that you're requesting some money, you need some help, you need the investors to, you need to look attractive in the eyes of the investor, and you want to put forward some financial request, then it's important that you state it and why. Why is it that you're asking for 100,000 versus 1 million versus 500,000? Very critical. Right. Oftentimes we think that we have no competition. Look, my business is so good, but I have no competition. For instance, let's say you're a Carib 5, your business is Carib 5, right? And you think that there's no competition. There's always competition. And why are there always competition? Because your competitions fall into one of two categories. They fall into either the direct competitor or the indirect competitor, right? Let's use Carib 5. I am Carib 5, I'm well established. I'm in Crossroad, I have like 5 cinemas, right? So, which is why they call it Carib 5, right? You can visit me. We have the surround sound experience. We have the experience that differentiates us from everybody else, right? So that's their value proposition, right? But at the same time, we need to look at their competitors. Who are their competitors, right? The guys selling CD on the road are their competitors. Have you thought about that? Not only that, if you have internet at home, if you have some pirate site where the same movies that are being shown at Carib 5, you can get it from those pirated sites, then you don't need to go into Carib 5. But I'm going to show you one more aspect that probably you never necessarily thought of, right? You see those drama houses, like Little Theater, they are also competitors to Carib 5 because they're providing a form of entertainment. And any form of entertainment, especially in form of visual shows or performances, then they are considered to be competitor. Why am I showing you an angle like this? Because you need to carefully consider who your competitions are, so you can account for them, and then you can demonstrate how is it that you're going to really differentiate yourself from the competition. but never ever should present your business without speaking about your competitor and where you fall in the line of, in the grand scheme of the competition. Do not ignore it. It's important that you acknowledge the competition that is in the market. Partnerships. Your partnerships, critical. You know, who are you? You need to look at so you can look at the partnerships from a top-down levels. You know, who are your partners? Who are the persons that's helping you to make the business work? Are they financial partners? Are there partners on the logistics side? Are there partners that just help the business to move? Just highlight some of your partners, critical partners, and how they're helping you to make the business work. Investment and use of funds. So remember earlier in your financial projection, I mentioned to you that if you're going to have your presentation, this is absolutely important for us to know, why are you presenting to us? What is your ask? How much money is being requested? And why you're requesting this money? Yes? Very, very, very important for you to demonstrate this. Otherwise, we don't see the need or the point of your presentation, other than, if you want to keep us entertained, to tell us about this new business venture that is doing great, and we can okay, we'll applaud you, but how can we really support you? How can we become a partner in your business? So it's important that here you highlight the use of funds, the investment and use of funds, how much money has been requested, and the purpose of it. Your team, of course, even if you're a sole proprietor, you do have a team. You need a team, right? Because it's important to demonstrate here the strength of your team. We don't want to know that, okay, Shelly is a part of your team. Shelly is in finance. Then you have so and so. Then you have Tom, Dick, and Harry. What's the importance of your team? The importance of your team is not to tell us that you have 5 or 6 team members, but it's important for you to tell us that this is a strength of your team. These are the years of experience. These are the technical background, and these are the things that the team members are bringing to the business. It has 15 years in finance, and I've done financial management for X number of company, and this person is responsible for all the financial operations of XYZ company. And you continue to demonstrate that through the rest of your team. Right. So, critical, again, not just the name of your team, but the strength on the different area that each team member brings to your company. Okay, so it's all about the investors, and I've been stressing this right throughout the pitch. So one particular question you must be able to answer from your investor, and it's absolutely critical, right, is your exit strategy, right? And what do I mean by your exit strategy? Are you looking to, say, make this company, massively successful, and then you sell it out to a much bigger company? Is it that you just want to exit by, listing on the junior stock exchange? Are you looking to be acquired by, a much bigger corporation? But your exit strategy is absolutely important. Whenever I start a business, I need to know, okay, how am I going to exit? Nothing is forever, nothing is perpetual. And we need to look at the cycle, the life cycle of your business, and how you're going to exit, especially if you're thinking big, right? And this is what we mean by exit strategy, right? So I think this brings us to the end of our presentation, and I really hope that was helpful. And of course, at this point in time, I will be taking questions if you have any, or further explain any concept on the slides that never was clearly understood.
All right, thank you very much, Carlinton. I'm going to take an opportunity right now to explain a couple of things to the attendees.
Okay.
For the month of July, we want to prepare entrepreneurs for an opportunity to get investment in their business, in your business. So on the 29th of July, the last Friday in July, we'll be having a pitch session where entrepreneurs, both in AYF and outside of AYF, can come to the session. You'll have to register before and pitch your business. We're going to get potential investors to listen to your pitch. And at the end of the evening, we are hoping that these investors will give you support. Now, the support might be vouchers to help you purchase tool or purchase resources. It could be that you need software if you're a graphic artist. It could be that you need some physical tool, you need a laptop and so forth. So what we want to do is to prepare you and other entrepreneurs for the 29th of July to do your pitch. The sessions we're going to have in July, well, it starts tonight. It's not only for the pitch, because Carlinton has been helping persons for years make pitches to investors outside of AYF. He is the executive director for the Caribbean Climate Change Innovation Center, which is not only catering to Jamaicans. So tonight is the start of a series of preparation that we want to do. On the 29th is when you and others will make that pitch. And we're going to give more details within the coming days of the structure of the pitch session. But before the 29th, on the 21st of July, the Thursday before, 1 week before, which is a Thursday and a day, we are going to give opportunities for a person to do a mock pitch. And Carlinton is going to give pointers from that mock pitch to say, all right, this is good, this is weak, tweak this, tweak that in preparation, right? We want to help. The Adopt a Youth Foundation is looking to help entrepreneurs and business people get access to the resources that you need to step up your business idea, your dream, your vision to the next level. Okay, so tonight is the start. We are recording this, so you have an opportunity to look back at the slides, and you're also going to have opportunity to get in touch with Carlinton one-on-one before your July 21st speech for anything that you need in preparation. But right now, you have heard the presentation from Carlinton. If you have any question, you can either type it in the chat, or you can open your mic or use the raise hand feature and go ahead and ask. You have an opportunity right now. Shoot. Yes, persons are typing, so it take a little time to finish the sentence, to type, right? But you don't have to type alone. You can raise your hand, you can open your mic and ask questions of Carlinton or myself if you want to know some more of what you're being prepared to benefit from.
No question from me at the time. I'm just taking in the sessions for now.
All right. Quick question, Leonardo. What is your business about? If you have 10 seconds to say your business, the value proposition, what would you say? Go.
Yeah, my business, yeah, I'm not conducting a business right now, but I have other people from my school who wanted to join as well. So I inform a teacher and they're supposed to be joining as well. So
all right. Well, we're
they
almost
have their
finishing,
business
so
ideas, so they're going to do it. But my business idea was I was planning to start a transport company, which actually
Transport?
has a schedule.
A scheduled transportation within the
Yeah.
Kingston metropolitan region or
Yes,
Mobile,
No, it's Kingston.
Kingston. Okay. All right. So do you want us to help you to flesh out that idea later?
Yeah, sure.
All right. What I want you to do is to write it down. Write down as much as tomorrow. Come on a session tomorrow, Leonardo. I'm gonna do the business model canvas, where you look at the different segments of what you need to consider for a business. And after that, send me your draft. I'm going to discuss it with Carlinton and we'll see what can come of it. Because you'll be surprised, an investor might just come on who wants to buy a bus for you or buy some cars depending on your business model. So come on tomorrow, 7 o'clock, hear about the business model canvas, do your own draft, send it to us, and then we'll give you some pointers and see where we'll go from there.
Oh, so you're going to send tomorrow when I come on, I'm going to get the canvas.
Yeah, man.
And I do it and then send it to, okay, no problem.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
All right.
We're serious about this thing, it's not just a chat, a talk shop. We want to translate ideas into successful businesses.
Yes.
Okay.
And remember to invite the others who really have the business ideas, who want to be a part of this, to get the help. Just remind them for them to join tomorrow, Leonardo.
Okay, because you have a couple youth who already have an established business. So
okay.
I would like them to get a little,
yes,
a little extra revenue or extra capital depending on their business. So people from an entrepreneurship class and an MOB class, I invited them. So they're supposed to be coming on.
All right.
But I told them in July, so probably they never think about
it. They weren't prepared for tonight.
Yeah. So I just
July starts
inform
tomorrow,
them again.
Leonardo. Let me interrupt. So they need to be on the session tomorrow and then all the other Thursday sessions. Okay?
All
yes,
right.
I told them, so I'm going to remind them today.
Okay, good.
Tomorrow morning again. So we'll see.
Wonderful, wonderful. So any questions? I see Cunningham says yes, that's the same with me, or miscommunication. No problem, man. It is better to under promise and over deliver than vice versa. So you're expecting July and we're giving you July plus a toops at June. So you're getting more than you bargained for. I'm recording this session. So God is good. All the time. He is wonderful, overflowing. Okay, since I'm not getting any question, I'm gonna end this session. Once again, thank you very much, Carlinton. I know you are someone I can call on, and you're passionate about helping people like myself. And we're gonna see some business come out of this. I think the UTech has an innovation center, right?
Yes, they do.
Yes, I think the Knutsford Court model came out of UTech, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to check upon that. So the Knutsford Court model, where you move people between Kingston and so forth, came out of UTech. Yes.
Express.
What did I say? Express?
Knutsford Court.
Oh, sorry. Knutsford Court is a hotel. The Knutsford Express.
Yes.
And it has been expanding. So they have a courier service now.
Yes.
Not just people.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yes, Cunningham, we're gonna share the recording in the AYF WhatsApp group. If you're not in the group, you can always reach out. Carlinton, you want to?
No, sir, we're going to put it in the entrepreneur group, the Youth Alliance group.
All right.
For the entrepreneurs.
All right, excellent. Carlinton, you want to share a contact where they can get in touch with you?
Sure, man. So the first, I encourage you to follow us on Instagram, because there we post a lot of opportunities. Like we have quite a few opportunities that just passed just now. I'm just going to write it here in the chat.
Okay.
Caribbean And it is Caribbean Innovation at Caribbean
Caribbean
Innovation.
Innovation.
Yeah,
Yeah, my bad.
at Caribbean Innovation. And this is for Instagram. Otherwise, can reach me by email at carlinton.burrell@caribbeancic.com, or you can reach me on my cell at 876-840-9518.
All right, you come in like Flash Garden, man. Like, I don't know how many people get that.
Well, I'll put it there, yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, thank you very much again, Carlinton.
Yes.
Look forward to seeing everybody on tomorrow evening for that presentation, and then we continue from there. You'll hear some more as the month of July unfolds. Have yourself a wonderful rest of the evening. See you tomorrow.
All right, take care, man. Enjoy, guys, and all the best.
Blessings.
Sure, Richard.
Good night.